Hey everyone, it's Gab. I stream on Twitch. You can find all the relevant links down below, and I hope you all enjoyed the video. Alright, I mean, seems like the hand's super solid against anyone here. They started, there was two first parts actually, and they were both good. There was one group called One OK Rock from Japan. I think they live in the US, but they're from Japan. They were good. And there was Royal Blood, which I enjoyed for the most part. Liz didn't really. It's pretty. I'm not sure if to say basic or because it's just like one guitarist and one drummer. Like they're really good. I really like the drummer. I don't know. Plus he looked a bit like Pat. He looked a bit like Get Smart. I mean, maybe he doesn't really look like Get Smart, but I like the drummer was gas. All the way up to 11, Kai. Because I'm all the way up. Nothing can stop me. But yeah, they were good. And then it's kind of annoying though. There was like over 40 minutes between Royal Blood and Muse. So I don't know if something was wrong or if they delayed it so that the show would look better at night. Because I guess they want night to set. Oh, right. First game of the tournament. I have one Fury in my deck. What's better in my graveyard? Just Riverwinder? I guess I should have cycled on turn. Why did I not cycle on turn 1? Oh, because that force. That's probably still bad. There's just not that much I want to force. Yeah, I mean, winning the die roll is good. Okay. Could come in handy. Do I want to grave them when they have Voidwalker? I still do, right? What are they going to do? Sag their Voidwalker? Grief me? Maybe they make them... Sag the Walker, they grief me. They have a Voidwalker in their graveyard, which is pretty good. Dying Malice, Terminate. Alright, I'm assuming I should take on Dying Malice, right? And I should cycle for maybe Steam Vents or Blood Crypt. Oh! I should have shocked. What am I doing? What massive brain fart. Oh my god. Not the greatest start. Not cycling a Riverwinder on 1 was pretty questionable. I've drawn a black card for Grave. I don't know, I saw Verdant Catacomb and for some reason I was like thinking, oh, it might be Yogg and keeping my force in my blue card might be good. But Yogg would probably have a turn one play. Is that what they're supposed to do? Are they supposed to not attack there? Alright, let's get basic forest. Piece of Blood Moon, even though I'm probably kind of screwed with that Blood Moon. Should I try and just draw land naturally? So I actually have cards in my graveyard when I do Living End. Let's get Blood Crypt, I guess. Keep up Voidwalker so they can sack in response to Living End. They get to reanimate Living End. I think they're gonna use sack in response. Yeah. Alright, mistakes were made display. If I lose to a non-creature spell because I didn't cycle last turn, I feel bad. That doesn't do much, does it? Still feels a little bad. Okay, so I need to draw a couple, I guess I can just sack it and grief me. They took the force. Okay. So I need to draw a couple land, or a couple cyclers. No, their Voidwalker can also force. Oh, yeah, have a roost. Were they supposed to sack here? Now I can just build a graveyard. I can build a graveyard, and then I go end of turn, Outburst Living End, on tap, bounce Voidwalker, kill you. Okay. Wait, I can bounce... Now I can just bounce Oliphaunt. Oh, they have another Voidwalker. Oh, that seems fair. And they have a 2-turn clock. So what happens if I Voidwalker on their turn? What happens if I Voidwalker? I mean, I forget how these interactions want. It's a player that wants to beat Living in game 1. No, it's just stock build for Voidwalker. They didn't do anything special. Probably just have to enough turn Outburst. Is it bad to Outburst now? So if I Outburst now, Living in gets exiled, they get back a Voidwalker. I'm assuming my Oliphaunt gets exiled too. I'm not sure. Someone tell me what to do. This is too complicated. I don't know, for some reason I just don't know how. I get the Ollie in the graveyard, really? Alright, I think I'm just gonna say go. I mean, because if I Outburst and they go sack Voidwalker to force the Living End, that's fine, right? Kind of funny, if I win the die roll, I win this game like so easily. Maybe I should just, I don't know, I'm just gonna cast Outburst and see what happens. I thought there was a point in waiting and taking, I don't know, I'm just playing this game bad, I think. Yeah, because now I don't even have a clock. I don't know why I didn't do it right away. There's just... Classic first game of the tournament. Just punts after punts. What are they casting? Oliphaunt? Ent? Living End? What just happened? Am I just living in again, right? I'm confused. Looks like I'm not the only one confused this game. I'm guessing what they just did is going to make sense in a second. Or not. Oh, they have Undying? But then I can bounce it at least. Might not have a clock though. It must have an Undying spell. No? Edict? I mean, who cares? At least I got rid of the Voidwalkers. Ooh. Play my land and be close to cast it. No, that's gotta be bad. Quickly fill up my graveyard while they're not watching. Blackland Cycler would be gas here, kind of. Okay, so we know their hand is push, terminate. I guess I should main face cycle in case I draw Force of Negation, then maybe I play Otawara. Is that my last living end? Pretty sure it's my last living end. I don't think I should grieve them, right? There's almost no way to have something good. Or I could just hardcast Architect of Will. They could have a Fury in hand. They could have Fury. But if they have Fury, they would maybe Fury pitch just to get it in the yard. Dash Ragavan. Not a ton of great hits, at least. They can't tag that fetch land, really. Which is nice. Shardless Agent. No Gucci. Cue in the Game of Thrones music, except it's Game of Punts. Who will be the last punter standing? Alright, I guess the line is just to grief them. Get the Ragavan, this way I don't die to bolts. I mean, I could use Auto or I bounce Ragavan, but then they get to chum block. We know they have Fatal Push and Terminate. Oh, and they have a Fury. Okay, they hardcast Fury, they die. I should just take the cheap chum blocker. God, that was such a miracle that I won this game. They had to mess up that so badly, I think. But so few lands left in our deck, I keep drawing them. Whatever. Can hardcast trolls now. Yeah, I mean, I didn't play very... Oh, they have something? Oh, wow. Oh, wow. Super obnoxious. I think I should bounce the token now. Wait, we don't know about terminate, Fury. Okay, so I bounce the token, they chomp. They need to draw a literal basic swamp. Like they'll need to draw literal one of their two basics to cast a Fury. Or a scam card. Let them chunk with token. Then they attack me. If they draw a bolt, I have a force. Yeah, Ragavan would be a pretty good top deck for them. I think either way, keeping Otawara is probably the play. Seasoned Pyro is like super scary. Seasoned Pyro wins them the game. They have a lot of cards they can draw, actually. And I thought I had it pretty much unlocked. I forgot about, like, Season Pyro, Archering, and stuff. Archering Chum Block, too good. Castle Lochtwain. Dude, they actually draw... They actually did draw a land that casts Fury. Wow. He's the con attack. Just bounce the Fury, right? I need to bounce the Fury. I have so many good top decks. Wait, what? Dude, they literally know about my Otawara. What the hell? I know their hand, right? I mean, they can't even sack down, yeah. I'll take it. I don't have to sweat it. How could they know? They saw my hand like 16 times. I'm pretty sure they knew about it. Damn, I still don't have double black. Alright, I mean, I'd probably win either way. If their top card's not like Season Pyro, Bowmaster, or something. Alright, so... They're smart. I know some people like Leyline of the Void just to stop the Voidwalker stuff. I don't want Subtlety. I think Subtlety's too gimmicky. It doesn't work very well against Voidwalker. It works a bit actually against Voidwalker because you just need to get a few cards in the yard. There's so many cards that could be okay in this matchup. I could just cut the Force and bring in a lot of just elementals and try and play a fairish game because their deck can be a little mopey. Let's see. I want the Leyline. Probably want both Foundation Breakers and both Prismari Command and the Fury. Subtlety and Endurance are probably like a luxury. And then could assume this is their list, a winning list from yesterday. 2 Chalice, the Hidetsugu, Unlicensed Hearst. Me just cut Force. Trim Force, Trim Grief. Or just Trim Force. And then I guess Trim like Waker. It's a pretty good one for them to cut. Maybe Trim a Grave. Classic. Not the worst, not the best. They have Leylines too. Because they don't have Ragavan to go as their Leyline. Is there anything I'm worried on turn 2 from their deck, given that I have Prismari Command in hand? I'm not worried about Voidwalker. Oh, we know they're not playing this list. Cannabis Boy. I'm not worried about her, so I she have Prismari Command in hand. It's possible they'd be sandbagging a discard spell just because they want to hit I actually had the 1 Edict in their main last time, they 5-0'd. 4 Leyline of the Void, 2 Hidetsugu. Benching Riverwinder if I'd carry this game, yeah, true. Would be a mistake. It's kind of questionable to wait a turn for Grief, because I'm probably gonna do it on my second turn, but I could hit one of my Foundation Breakers. They're griefing me? It was Orcish Bowmaster. I think I can draw anything very exciting. I guess that would be a reason to grief them. Well, I mean, if they had Grief Scam, they would have just done it on turn 1, right? Hopefully they're just scared. Hopefully they're just stuck on lands or just scared of a disenchant. If only Grief could hit yourself, it'd be so cool to reanimate stuff, yeah. It would make, yeah. I haven't taken a look at the results of LMS yet, Bologna. I've watched a bit of coverage here and there. I haven't gone on the Melee website to see the win rates. And not even be win rates if it's... Bologna has like closed decklist, right? Just not open decklist. So they're probably considering Prismari Command and Grave. I mean, what else would they consider? The fact that they're thinking for so long kind of makes me hope they don't have the scam play, because it seems like they would just take Prismari Command and Grave if they did. Or they could just take Architect and... Oh, they took Grave. Weird. It's kind of surprising. No, never mind. Yeah, they're scamming. Okay. I'm dumb. Yeah, Grave and Prismari Command makes sense. 67% of wandering presence in day 2 list. Yeah, but was the percentage in day 1 list. I think I should just try and keep my cards and find red mana and stuff, like griefing them is... I mean, let's start by cycling, I guess. Well, that is a 2 living end draw. Okay. Dev, a pretty fast clock. I think I really need to save my grief here. I feel like Land Voidwalker would be annoying. I'm gonna hold on to it 1 turn. We know they don't have Ragavan. Need a land cycler for red mana. Got a bunch of atrocious draws. So somehow getting color screwed. Go down to 10. I mean, Grief might just be too slow now. Actually, no, Grief's going to be important if I draw a disenchant. Come on. A little late to the party. Why don't I use a hand hider? I don't know, wouldn't you rather be able to watch my hand and enjoy the game seeing my hand? Okay, well, we got your answer. Yeah, should have Grief last turn because we know they're getting treasure, so we know they're going to get mana. There's also like very few people that actually ghost. It's like super minimal. Super minimal. Alright, I mean, I guess there's no shame in losing to turn 1 Leyline Grief draw, and I drew terrible, and still felt like I had a shot. Alright, gotta assume 4 Leyline from them. We got 4 Leyline and Hearse. They don't have Hearse. Like, Force of Negation is much worse against them. So I should probably just board out my Force of Negations in this matchup. Just have Force of Vigor. Grief is also worse against them. Let's see. No pitch spell, no force, no grief seems a little sus. Subtlety I can cast. It's nice against turn 2 Voidwalker potentially. I do need to worry a bit about Blood Moon. Just huge comments from Spike doesn't use Hand Hider most of the time. What tools we have as Living End versus Land? I have 2 Force of Vigor, 2 Foundation Breaker. Really in challenges, like round 1 of a challenge, uses a Hand Hider. I don't get the feeling I'm getting ghosted in challenges almost ever. I think you basically never want to board out land cycler, especially when they're the right colors to pitch. No grief, no force. Seems all sketch. Could try it. They do kind of pick you apart. Let's try it. Let's see what happens. Of course, they don't have Hearse. If they're playing the same list that we're playing last known list, just 4 Leyline, so... Or some negation. I mean, they still have Blood Moon. They still have a few good cards, but it does lose some of its appeal. Alright, they kept 7 was a Leyline last game. Let's see if they do it again. They're going down to 6. It's nice. I have an answer for Leyline, even if it's going to cost me. I have an answer for Voidwalker. I have a super stocked hand, packed hand, whatever you want to call it. Okay, no turn 1 Leyline. What does that mean? I don't have Grief in my deck or Force, right? So I don't need to like frantically cycle on my turn. Range Voidwalker. I mean, once they mulligan, they might just keep like a discard spell, some lands, some free drops and stuff. Since I'm getting scammed. Oh. I mean, once someone mulligan once, you can't assume they have a good hand, necessarily. Kind of have to keep most hands on 6. So what do I have? I have a bunch of Furies. I didn't bring in Subtlety. I don't have Grief. I don't have Force. I guess I should cycle Street Wraith first. I want to land cycle for basic forest. I can. I'll rip life total. I guess I'm not worried about Blood Moon. Well, a bit. I don't have to use my Outburst. I don't have to. Ooh, Chalice. Okay. Green card. What a beaut. Cycle main phase, right? Another green card would be great. Oliphaunt, a little late to the party. What's my line here? Force of Vigor, Treasure, and Ragavan? Or let them have it in case they have like they could have another wait, did their last like even have chalice? One chalice. So they're unlikely to have a second chalice. Could let them cast a Blood Moon. Kind of bad for me if they go Season Pyro, discard a bunch of stuff. But it's also bad for me if I force and they have a discard spell. Because then I would probably just rather use Prismari Command. Also, if I break next turn, I can't even cast can't be worth it, a treasure token. If they use their treasure token to do something, then it means I just get to Prismari Command and save my green cards. Alright, I'll let them have it. Kind of giving away my hand away if they're paying attention or kind of know what's going on. That was not great. Should have made my decision before. I'm pretty bad at that. Just not making my decision before. My line is better against a discard spell, which they could definitely have. They would play it the same way. They wouldn't play turn 1 discard spell. They would play turn 1 Ragavan. If I pitch one of my green cards, discard my other enabler potentially. They didn't misplay game 1, so maybe they won't like realize that Force of Vigor in hand. They're griefing me with Bowmaster. Sure. It might be a second game in a row that I lose to having awkward mana. I'd be getting punished for... I'm not sure though. It's also like second game in a row I draw like 6 cyclers and 0 land cyclers, so maybe a little bad luck too. If they have Blood Moon, I think they have Blood Moon, they just take Force of Vigor, Blood Moon, and it's kind of GG. I mean, I guess if they have it all, they have it all, you know. Hitotsugu would be really good for them too, because I can't get rid of the Chalice. There's a lot of... most of their free mana cards just screw me over. Season Pyro. They're just building their own graveyard. They're at 17. I have 9, 14. Voidwalker gets the Living End, right? And they can cast Living End again. What am I meant to do? I guess if I draw green, I can just outburst on their turn anyways. I don't have to do it right away. Okay. Green mana, please. Oh, worst card in the deck. Cool. Cool stuff. I guess this is another problem with 4 color, is that you're just really unlikely to ever draw untapped color if you need. So if you don't have the land sectors in your opening hand, you're full screwed. Need green mana, obviously. Yeah, it's a Chalice of the Void. Alright, does it make sense to force their treasure now? Or does it still not make sense? I am worried about Blood Moon. So getting the treasure is better against a bunch of stuff. It's worse against Blood Moon. So disaster, they have land Blood Moon. If they have a discard spell, I kind of just have to cast it and pray anyways. Pray that I draw a Cascade spell. If they have a discard spell, it's kind of irrelevant. Getting the treasure is good if they have land grave. What's more likely? Landgrave, Land Blood Moon. Landgrave, Land Blood Moon is like equally likely. Landgrave, Land Blood Moon, equally likely. Discard spell, I'm kind of screwed. Put Hardcastle Lane on, but I don't care. I feel like it doesn't really matter what I do. I think it's just better to do it now. And then keep Outburst right, because of Voidwalker. I can still beat Blood Moon if I top deck an Ent. I can just Ent, cycle Forest, so I at least have a decent redraw. Alright, what's it gonna be? They had the Grief. Wow. Well, couldn't do anything about that. That was my concert, really good. Man, Eddie got like one of my Cascade spells. Need a miracle. What can you do, chat? Am I gonna die to a Lightning Bolt? They don't have Lightning Bolt after sideboard against me, right? They won't have Lightning Bolt in their main deck. Did I just hit like a nasty 2-out or whatever?
The genius of Gabriel Nassif.
Hopefully I don't lose after this insane top deck. Do I have lethal? Looks like I might have lethal. Yeah, that was insane. Hopefully it's enough. Bunch of trolls. Untap land would have been nice for Otawara. I guess none of these cards matter, right? Does it matter in the slightest? Not sure. Maybe I'll just keep the Sanctum. I guess I could have played a Blood Moon. I guess I call Otawara to play Blood Moon. Alright. Does any of it matter? So that's 12 unblockable, some trample. Give trample to Riverwinder, that's the safest. They have terminate for Oliphaunt, do I still kill them? I guess they wouldn't give me a draw step for just trample Oliphaunt, right? Or Riverwinder is what makes more sense, gotta be. Feels like it was good for me this game to just have a lot of cyclers and not have a bunch of pitch spells. I needed to find the redraws. I needed to fill up my graveyard a lot. To have like one turn lethal. Like the grief on the chalice or grief on the Ragavan would have made my life a bit easier. That's the last match. Moban had like 5 minutes left. Damn it, I'm gonna get shamed on Twitter. We said we were not supposed to keep these lands, right? 11 lands. And a living in, which is not great. I played Junt for 9 years. Everything is possible if you're stubborn enough. You gotta attack Reed like that. What did Reed ever do to you? So there's nothing I can cycle into right now, right? Hello, G-Jam! G-Jam, you know Shudzy stole your gig, right? Wait, no gig. Shtick. Anyways. Shudzy Might is the free hello now. Anyone got a sweet historic list with Bowmaster into One Ring? I haven't played Arena. New cards came out. Alright, I guess I'll cycle Oliphaunt. No reason to cycle Street Wraith yet. I could get Overgrown Tomb or Breeding Pool. Alright, now we have a reason to cycle. In case I draw another cycling card, 1 mana cycling card. Which I do. Alright, we need to dodge a top deck relic. Wait, do they play Rebuke too? Their latest list doesn't have Rebuke. You just have Force of Negation to redraw a Dev Relic. Damn it! They got the counter strats! their own land cyclers, their own siphon creatures. All doesn't look like they have relic. I'm aware. I feel like this is a little too easy right now. I'm not exactly sure what could go wrong, but maybe that was bad actually. I'm just giving them an artifact sooner. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. They're gonna be casting mon. They might be able to overpower me. Well, I guess I don't have much of a choice now that I played that land. I think I messed up though. Looking at their latest list, they don't have rebukes and stuff. So I should have probably yeah, they might just pop off here. They could pop off. Yeah, I kind of messed up, I think. They have like a Shadow Spear. Maybe erase me. Drum. Any cheap artifacts decent for them? Yeah, here comes the Monitor. Yeah. Might be able to push for some damage. So what was I supposed to do? Just play like Blood Crypt, say go, Outburst, end of their turn. Been playing a little loose today. Loosey-goosey. Is that a swamp? No. I could fetch for them if it was a swamp. 5, 8, 14. Say attack was everyone but Shardless. Give +2/+2 to Street Wraith. Let's say I attack was everyone, and I pump Shardless. This blocks Riverwinder. This blocks Street Wraith. That takes 6, 11, 13, 15, 19. I can cast an Outburst for value. I mean, either way, I should probably shock, right? I think either way I should shock. What if I give Trample to Riverwinder? Are they just dub? I give Trample to Riverwinder. The max it can soak is Sojourner on Oliphaunt, Memnite on Ent, and then they take 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 16, 17, 18, 19. Am I really one? They can block Ent. Am I really 1 damage short? Pump Riverwinder. Attack was everyone. They soak up 4 trample on Oliphaunt. They block Ent. They take 5, 6, 7, 8, 12, 15, 17, 18. Maybe I should still block with everything? Yeah. So if that happens, they lose 2 artifacts. I lose an Ent and an Oliphaunt. And I can just maybe end of turn, cycle Curator and kill them again. I think I'm probably supposed to attack with everyone. I'll have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 artifacts left. I think I'm just going to attack with everyone. Would I rather lose my Ent or my Oliphaunt? I would rather lose my Ent. So I'm going to pump Riverwinder. Maybe they'll forget about Outburst. Seems unlikely. They have a lot of modern reps. They're probably doing some math. Didn't they afford to block Street Wraith? Did they just mess up? 6, 9, 16. Oh, maybe I'm the one who messed up. I didn't realize they could just afford to block that. That's a good block by them. Six, 9, 16, 19. Damn, the power of the Painless Mana base. Alright, let's see what they can do now. Could just equip attack, force me to do something. But if they just do that, I can just sack the food token. So they might want to do a little more than that. Yeah, I think I should be okay, but just what, cycle Oliphaunt plus Outburst. Get back Oliphaunt plus Ent. Should be able to push for 4 trample damage, especially with Outburst in hand. And they could have Shadow Spear. I feel like them playing a Relic is annoying. I guess I just Outburst in response to Relic. If they just equip an attack, I would crack food. Yeah, I think so. I agree. I don't have to cast Living End when I do it. I mean, also I'd say they have no rebuke, but okay. If I don't outburst and have Shadow Sphere, I probably lose. What am I worried about if I living in here? Really not much, right? Is Gingerbread? Is Gingerbread lethal? Oh. Alright, I guess I'm just gonna living in response. Leyline loses to a counterspell, which we don't think they play, but if they do, yeah, I should have looked up more of their history and not just their latest list. See if they mix it up with the main deck's rebukes or not. Not a food. Stonks. That's good. I have a living end left, so maybe if I don't draw my third living end naturally, I can reveal. I can also just hardcast Curator. Looks like we got them. Nice. Sideboard. That doesn't work. 2 Jailer. Permanent cards. Player can't cast non-crucial spell from graveyard or deck. 4 Rebuke, 2 Jailers is what I need to worry about, right? Plus the 2 relics in the main. It really works against Jailer. Alright. Ooh, Prismari Command's kind of nice. Command, Fury, all the anti-artifact stuff. I don't think I want Leyline because they don't have Ravager. My own dispute seems kind of good. The other same have Gravedigger? No. Gravedigger says the relevant part would be creature cards in graveyard and libraries can't enter the battlefield, but they don't enter from the graveyard, they enter from exile. But Jailer says permanent cards in graveyard can't enter the battlefield, but that's not the relevant one, because if they have it in play and you're living in it dies. The relevant one is player can't cast non-creature spells from graveyard or exile, and Cascade says when you cast this spell, exile all cards from the top of your library until so you exile the living end, and you're trying to cast it from exile. So it stops living end. Yep. How good is Force of Negation against them? They have Rebuke, always Force of Negation, always Old War Saints counters. How much time do they have left? A minute. They have 2 relics I really want to counter, but I guess it's not the end of the world. I think Force of Negation's pretty bad in this matchup. Dispute's the maybe. Grief's the maybe. Kind of established. I don't want to cut cycling cards. Too many. Of course, it's nice to fight over their rebuke on their turn. It picks up a relic. I don't think Subtlety's good enough just for Jailer. I think Grief's probably pretty nice in general. Let's trim a Riverwinder. Let's trim an Architect. And maybe trim a Cascade. Actually, not trim Cascade spell. I think Grief is nice because it gets their rebuke. It doesn't get turn 1 relic. But I have a bunch of cards for relic. Solid hand. This hand could use a Force of Negation. I think I'm a little low on the pitch cards. I'm not sure. Do you play Ornithopter? They do. So that's what they might be tanking for. I do have Grief in my deck. This cycle Street Wraith. And I really don't want to miss my land drop. I want to be able, if they go like turn 2 Saga, I think I want to be able to play Foundation Breaker on curve. Okay. 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 Interesting. Maybe Stomping Ground, because I have Hardcast, Fury, Prismari Command, all that stuff, yeah. But I really want a Foundation Breaker, Memnite. F5, I mean, does slow them down a lot. Because they have monitors. Right now they can cast Monitor for 2 mana and have mana left over. Feels a little loose, though. Yeah, I think it's a little too loose. I mean, I love these plays, but what I could have done is cycle Ent and then cycle a Curator. Because I could have hit Force of Vigor. I'll try to run Force of Vigor into Dispute, though. Or a Rebuke. I could fire it off, because I do have, like... I have 2 more Force of Vigors, and 2 more Prismari Command, and another Foundation Breaker. Maybe. Did I bring in Dispute? I hope I did. I did not. No, that card's really good. Okay, no Saga, that's nice. What's the player? Just cast Shardless Agent next turn? Make them use a Rebuke, get a blocker. Which land should I get? Like, obviously, I want to make sure I try to keep as many lands. Because if I get Overgrown Tomb, I guess I still have 1 swamp. I think I should just get Breeding Pool for now, though. And cycle Curator. Yeah, I have 4 Griefs in my deck, so I think I don't want to fire off Shardless Agent right now. Is there anything I would want to Grief out of their hand? They had 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So they could have gone 1 mana Monitor, and then still have mana for Rebuke. So they don't have Monitor, they don't have Thoughtcast. They could have Thoughtcast, I guess. I guess I just want to cycle. Watery Grave or Overgrown Tomb. Or Blood Crypt, probably. Blood Crypt. Did they draw that, or did they miscount their mana? Or did I miscount? They could have cast this for 1. Tap 1 for Drum. Tap 1 for... they drew the Relic. Okay, a little rough. A little rough. Oh, why am I doing that? What am I doing? What's wrong with me? Well, rip Architect of Will. Will be missed. Alright, this is probably gonna get rebuked. It's fine, I guess. I think I still need to cycle that Architect, actually. I need to dig 2 more answers. Can't believe I didn't bring in Dispute. I went solo on like counters and stuff. Doesn't really help that I didn't draw a single Fury or anything. You really don't love Affinity? What do you mean? The Steam Vents left. I have double red already. I guess I want double black, kind of. Play didn't kill me, GG. Alright. Alright. 91% Jeopardy, yeah, I was thinking the same thing. And I should almost definitely have Dispute. And I should maybe have Shardless against counters. And it's blue and green. And I should probably have a Force or 2. Let's at least have 1 Force in the Dispute. Don't want to mess with the land cyclers. Race for Agent. I don't like cutting Street Wraith from this deck. Unless you're playing Inspurn. Not a huge fan. So this is what I'm cutting. These Architect of Will. Black cards, blue cards. And maybe see Waker. Okay, no, I guess I want to be able to grieve them on turn 1 pretty consistently. Hey Classy, thank you. Look if you're playing in anything as well. Looks good. Looks very decent. I wonder if I should grieve them on turn 1. I should wait a bit. So I'm gonna get Breeding Pool. And I have Oliphaunt. Get Steam Vents. Is Living In versus Yogg? I don't know. Always turn 1 grief in case they have sketch mana. Well, how would they have sketch mana? What do you mean? Where it's Springleaf? Isn't Force of Vigor good against that, though? I think I'm gonna grief turn 1 just for simplicity, I guess, and then can't be too wrong. I guess I don't have a thingy card. Spellbomb monitor. I might just take the monitor, honestly. The rest just a bunch of sitting ducks. Could go long. The opening hands at least was one land consistently. What do you mean? It's basic math. Average. I'm gonna have a one lander or more 78% of the time. Am I getting lucky today? I don't know. I think I've had one non-lander so far. So I think I'm like right in the stats. I think I've had two mulligan once because I had 0 lands. Take monitor, it comes back on their first living end. I could just try and mana screw them. This is kind of tough. I do get grief back, but it gets tricky if they draw a relic at some point and they get rid of my grief. They still get back their monitor. I guess I'll just take Spellbomb. I don't know. Just try and mana screw them. I think taking the other one's just playing a little scared. Excellent draw. I think I'm just gonna cycle Ent first. No, it's a little bit too much of a min-max. What should I get here? Overgrown Tomb, maybe? One of their draws. There is... Oh, his Muse. Super good. That was really good show. They have like really sick show. Just not playing a spell here? How would you ever not play a spell here? I think it might be time to do this, just in case. Blue or black mana. Blue for force is nice. I draw grief out of living in to pitch anyways. I guess it could be good just to suspend living in actually. Maybe I should have gotten shields up, yeah. I have double red for Fury. I need black, which I'm getting anyways. I have double blue already. I have double green, so I guess the next consideration is 3 land cyclers of each left, so I want to keep as much. I have a lot of green, so I want to probably keep some red in. So I probably want to take Watery Grave or Overgrown Tomb. It's just Watery Grave. Maybe I kind of forgot about Suspend Living End, not gonna lie. Thank you so much for your Prime sub. Welcome to Sewer. Well, that makes sense. Did we remove the hand hider? I can't remove the hand hider. We got the answer to our question. Yeah, way less suspicious now. Oh my god, we have to. Oh wow. That was sick for them. I need to Force of Vigor now, or else they can... So they have 2 cards, one's a monitor. If I Force of Vigor, these 2, you can cast it next turn. So I'm just delaying it by 1 turn. It could matter. Dude, that is some good draws for them. I guess it's not better than just straight up drawing a relic, but... 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6... 4, 5, 6... Good cards with value disenchant. The problem is if they draw a relic and just sack it, it resets my graveyard and it puts me in a bad spot. And I'm gonna have to Force a Vigor next turn. I mean, that plating is gonna be annoying anyways. I cast it now. If I force, at least it delays them by 1 turn. I don't know what to do. Destroy 1 more thing? I mean, I can destroy 2 things right now. I mean, it's not like Ornithopter is 0 for them. Yeah. So what do I do now? Just main phase Force of Vigor, plating, and drum, and then save the Foundation Breaker? Or I could Foundation Breaker the plating, take Force of Vigor. Oh, that just happened. There's no reason not to do it now, right? I get back grief and stuff. Yeah, I love my line too of just like tank, tank, tank. Rip living end. Easy clap. Hopefully they have a spell in hand. I'd actually drew relic. See, my line of waiting kind of almost backfired. It almost cost me the game. Like in hindsight, well, in hindsight, I guess it's dumb because in hindsight, nothing matters. But in hindsight, I should have, like, if I had Force of Vigor, they would have not been able to cast anything, and then next turn they would have gone like Monitor and not have the mana to Relic plus sack it. Am I worried about anything now? Probably not. Just kill that and just the plating, not be too fancy. Yokis, comment ça va? Comment vas-tu? J'aime bien ton double. Je sais pas si tu le fais exprès maintenant ou la marque de fabrique. Comment ça va? Comment vas-tu? Le double welcome. Ah, bavardage. Bavardage, indeed. De sucrier. Non, c'est cool d'avoir des petits trucs récurrents, tu vois, tu te sors à la maison et tout. Il y a du bon à la... Spolba. Spolba was Giganta. Giganta's tricky because it could be like Tron, or it could be blue-red decks. Is Spolba just a burner account? Spulba. Sometimes you want to do Goldfish, that works better. Might be someone who just made an account to get the 25% or $25 free thing. Maldis? I don't know, I'm thinking about it. That's my first instinct was keep. Like this, you're pretty likely to draw a grief at some point. No, I think this hand's fine. I mean, whereas if you mulligan to 6, there's always a chance you get to mulligan to 5. It's not like you're guaranteed an average 6-card hand. Could I cycle in response? Would I ever force that if I drew a force? I kept 7 on Tron. Well, I'm kind of screwed. I am screwed. Screwed. I'm gonna cycle now, whatever. Let's move on to game 2. Alright, let's cycle this first. Try and draw 3 for force. Nope. Alright, so well, hopefully somehow their hand is bad, but I don't know that's gonna happen. Well, here's Tron. It's very cool. Love it. Love it. Is this a bad matchup? I think it used to be good, but maybe the One Ring made it bad. I'm not sure. Also, this is maybe a matchup where having less Wakers and stuff and more land cyclers makes your matchup a little worse. You can see that. Do I have a black land left? I have Blood Crypt, right? I guess I should cycle that because I could hit the redraw. Blue card to redraw, right? Generous Ent. How generous? Who is the best salty professional MTG? I don't know. I'd rather not answer questions like speak negatively of other people for no reason. I mean, calling out people for bad stuff is fine, but we actually have a shot here? I doubt it, but you never know. The graveyard's not even that impressive since I went for the redraw. I got an architect in there instead of something else. How's the burn matchup? Now the mana base is so painful. I haven't played the burn matchup since. You have less fetch lands. I didn't face that more painful. I also haven't really played since they added Rolling Vortex to the main deck. I think I'm pretty much shrink dead. By the time I do anything relevant, I mean, you can just like card for a Warm Collection or something. Whatever, Tron that wins the die roll and keeps a 7-card hand, you're just gonna lose. I need a quick break. I'm gonna let time run out now because I don't let time run out during. Maybe I should also just figure out how I want to sideboard before going sideboarding because I always run out of time with this deck. So I think you want some subtleties, but not all of them, because there's also the One Ring. I think you want Foundation Breaker and Force of Vigor. Maybe Prismari Command takes as the spot of Force of Vigor. Let's see how Menina and I use to sideboard. That is Patreon and stuff. That's proper etiquette if I get someone's Patreon about spilling the beans on my chat? Is it just acceptable? Is it just maybe okay to like reference it, but without like explicitly just showing it and people copy pasting it? Against Tron. He does 2 Subtlety, 2 Force of Vigors, 2 Foundation Breakers. And he boards out 3 Wakers, 1 Architect, 1 Living End, which doesn't really help me because I already only have 3 Living Ends and a 1 Waker. Long story short, he likes the Force of Vigor. Yeah, just don't show it. But okay to just Fury, Fury, Fury. Not great. Waker. So what do I want? I want Foundation Breaker. Maybe Force. Maybe Prismari. Subtleties. Chalice over Stonebrain for priority chalice doesn't always make sideboard space. Not sure what you're talking about. I'm not a big fan of the Stonebrain. Seems too slow. I think you're better off usually getting explosives against creativity or crypt or chalice. So I don't want to board out Cascade or Living Ends because I need to have it on turn 3. Force is great, Grief is great. Yeah, it's down to like churning the cyclers. I don't want to do Prismari Command maybe instead of Force of Vigor. Also just more blue cards for subtlety and stuff, less awkward. Alright, let's say these 6 cards. I'm gonna just Curator in this matchup. Just hits less hard than Riverwinder. Could fly over Wormcall engines though. Tough, tough, tough. My experience so far is that you don't want to trim the land cyclers. It makes your mana a little too inconsistent. But then it means I'm drawing into less forces and stuff. I mean, that's kind of the scenario, right? If this was a land cycler, I'd be much happier keeping this hand. It has a Living End, which is not great, but not the end of the world. It has a second Shardless, which is fine because I have Force and Subtlety. Alright, I have 2 draw steps to draw 12, 22. Curator, Street Wraith, kind of okay. 30. 30-ish. Mull? Yeah, 2 pitch spells is all too mana intensive. And I'm not even gonna have a great clock even if I do Living End. Yeah, I think this is a mull. I agree. Okay, keep and get rid of Otawara. And hope they don't have turn 1 relic. I kept 7 again? Well, what can you do? My man over there just averaging 0 mulligans was their Tron deck. To be fair, once they know they're against Living End, now you get to keep lands like... Alright, I need the black cards. Black card. How many black cards did I board out? 0? Prage black cards. Relic. Yep. Like clockwork. Like freaking clockwork. Could be okay if their hand of their if the rest of their hand if they don't have like a quick Tron.
Idiot players call races.
I might win with
They don't
just
even know how to spell
Grave.
poker.
I mean, I'll cycle now. I'd rather have an Oliphaunt. I mean, if they tap out, I can just Outburst. They tap out for some reason. Interesting. I kind of want to go for the map, honestly, but am I beating? I go for the relic, they sack it, they untap map, they have Tron, and then what? I mean, surely they could have fail rate, right? Like, they're allowed to, like... Yeah. Does anyone strongly disagree with me going for the map here? And hope they don't just, like, have a perfect natural Tron plus relic? Okay, let's say I go for relic. They have Tron, and then the game's basically impossible. They would have 1 Tron untapped. Yeah, but I mean, I got no clock, and then I don't know. I'm just gonna go for the map. And then hardcast Brief next turn and hope their hand sucks. Well, got him. Which one? Does it matter? I don't have double blue yet. Could be a breeding pool. No. Alright, Grave, do your thing. Pretty unfortunate you're living in here. I could really use, like, literally land anything. Crying and Stirring and the Stone Brain. I don't think I care about the Stone Brain. I'll take a land over my living in at this point. I don't care about Warping Whale. If I take Wormcoil, I'm like... That means I'm giving up living ends altogether. But if I take Wormcoil, even if they find Tron, they've got nothing. I think I maybe have to take Wormcoil. Yeah, I like it. I might also want to sag that relic at some point and then they exile their own Wormcoil. And I can maybe overpower Wormcoil somehow if I get rid of the relic first. Spirebluff Canal, okay. I have Stomping Ground left. When did I click my combat damage? Weird. I think I take Crying over Stirrings. Well... If I was going to take a green card, I agree Scryings would be good. I guess now I cycle, right? Because Living End's back on the menu. Now I literally have more... I have way more like 6 drops than on tap lands. Cycle? I think so. I do have a land left, right? Stomping Ground. Good beats. Good bounce my grief. Grief them. That Otawara is really not gonna do much for me. Is that good enough though? What do we know about their hand? Problem is if I do that, what does the Stone Brain do? Perhaps if I do that, they can actually get rid of my living ends. Then I can just castle my monsters. What did I take with the grief? I took Wormcoil Engine. We know these 5 cards in their hand. I have Warping Whale. Okay. They're gonna go probably like Sack, Sylvan's Crying, get Tron, keep mana up. I board that Riverwinder too. 7 mana is kind of irrelevant. I feel like this deck got way more complicated. And I don't know if I love the Bouncing Grief line. Then I don't have a clock. I lose... Like, the Living End could be okay, honestly. Just suspending it. Kind of would just want to suspend Living End and say go. Could backfire. Because what am I even griefing if I grief? Let's say, okay. I kind of have to take Warping Whale. And then they just have Oblivion Stone for my board. And maybe can Stone Brain me. You can put pressure on the board now, 2-turn clock. Wow. I don't have mana. I'm 1 short. Betting. Grief is a legend. Grief is my ring bearer. I could also just say go and see what happens, and maybe I want to bounce my Grief end of turn. This spot is kind of sick. This spot is just so many different things I can do. But I don't think bouncing Grief and pitching it to Living End is right. Okay, let's say I suspend Living End, suspend free. Next turn to attack you down to 11. Next turn 1, attack you down to 8. And it brings back 1 hour later. Well, Jackface, do you have the proper line? Do you have the optimal line? We're listening. Apparently you've got it figured out. I'm not sure why you're watching this stream if you don't like if you don't enjoy the part where we actually think about the correct play. Bounce free pitch Living End. Yeah, I hate that line. I'm not doing that. I guess the only thing I'm considering right now is whether I should suspend Living End for some reason, but that doesn't seem great either, honestly. I think I'm just gonna say go. You want me to take Sylvan's Crying? Okay, actually, I don't know. For some reason, I feel like picking Scrying, but then leaving them with Stirring is like not that exciting, honestly. But I could be wrong. Because they might just have a million green cards. They might literally have another Sylvan's Trying they drew that we don't know of. I feel like that line could really backfire. Suspending Living gets around Stone. Yeah, but it might also screw me over. Not a relic. Okay, now it feels like I should do it. Seems like I might have outmaneuvered, or things worked out anyways. So now I can go grief, foundation breaker, living end, and hope. Hope they don't have like dubs. Oh, I messed up. I should have chromatic start. I drew 2 cards. Yeah. Well, in hindsight, taking Sylvan Shrine was the play. But then if I'd done that, they might have just gone relic, sack relic, and have no graveyard and no board and no pressure. All right, they have 7 mana. Is that a... Oh, I get a second grief. Wait a second. Let's take both cards. Well, I'm not taking Stonebrain. I'm not taking Warping Whale. Is Karn that good? I messed up not doing Foundation Breaker first. Foundation Breaker on Chromatic Star. Land of the top, I can still redraw a Living End and hardcast stuff. And then the left was nothing. Yeah, I think I like taking both cards. Another line would be saving Foundation Breaker, but it might just get the ring. Is that the right mana for Outburst? Is there a reason? Yeah, they let you have Warping Well in here. I was gonna say, is there a reason to do Outburst now? Is this game 2 or game 3? I still have 1 game. I think I still have 1 game to win, right? I don't know. I forget. Oh, I missed ordered. I mean, I don't think there's like a much better card than Karn for them, anyways. But that's not great. Man, if only it was a sphere, it'd be so much better for me. Taking Warping Whale and then kill whatever they get with Karn when outbursting. Yeah, maybe that's why. I don't know. I know Violent Outburst at a draw set because I have Warping Whale on hand and you can just counter it. Got another tower. Their hand is Warping Whale, Stonebrain, and some mystery cards. And another Living in here would have been so sick. I don't think I can realistically dodge here. They would have to get really unlucky. Maybe I can beat some of their top decks with an Outburst. I was a Living in actually. Yeah, I know it's game 2. I know. I mean, there's no shame in losing to Living in and to Tron that doesn't mulligan a single time. It just happens. Variance. Yeah, they really got me. They got me good. Yes. Is that lethal? They see me trolling. They hating. Womp womp womp. We almost had them. We almost had them against their like pretty sick draws both games. Alright. GG's. Warping well, they also like Stonebrain my Living End. Tossing me here. This could be a land, and I would have a very good hand. Well, I think it might be time to gamble. My cards did mulligans. Let's see what I'm up against. Make sure I'm not up against like a burn player or something dumb. Not even sure I'm gonna keep either way. Murktide. 3 looks, 11 hits, 20%, 20%, 20%. 1 minus 20. It's like 8, 1 minus 0.8, 0.8, 0.8. 8 times 8, 64 times the 8. Like 50% to draw lands. Just get rid of the 2 lands. right? Get rid of the force. What can I get here? Cycle Riverwinder, cycle Oliphaunt into something. I think it's just the 2 lands. Wait, do I keep? I mean, even if I draw Grief, am I ever griefing here? Maybe? How many lands? 11. Let's do this one first. Then maybe Blood Crypt. Blood Crypt lets me cast my Cascade spells. Lets me cycle Architect. Gives me... I don't need triple blue. I don't need double green. Nevin, same as yesterday. Yeah, I think maybe different lands, but I think I played 11 yesterday. I don't know if I played 10 or 11. I think 11. I just like had a hand, though. I would have had like a great hand, but I had a troll instead of a land. I'll just say go in case they. I think if they main iteration, I can just counter it. But as 11 fill compared to 14. I had to mulligan a bunch of times because I had 0 lands today. But the black mana has been nice of fixing. I don't know. I guess I got a little color screwed in some spots too. It's been a little hit or miss, for being honest. Ever hard casting a curator? Nah, never. Tackled that one first. Easy. Obviously, they could have double counter, but so be it, I guess. Still have like redraws to just more cascade spells if they do. That's a good sign for us. Tail leading was counterspell. Be unlikely to have spell pierce. They said "we" in chat. Not sure what that means, but all right. Well, we got the game that's good for us. Yeah, that was a mult 5. Had nothing to do with the trolls though. Okay, their latest list of Murktide. How old is it? June 24. Not that old. 2 Piers, 4 counterspell, 2 Blood Moon in the main, an extra Fluster Storm, 2 Hearse, a Dispute, even some Furies. Let's see, how does Menina sideboard against Merc? He just does Dispute and Endurance. And he boards out Shardless, 2 Architect, and a Waker. We know our opponent. We're weaker to Blood Moon than the other versions. We know for a fact our opponent's going to have hers, but I guess you know they're going to have hers no matter what. Prismari Command. Also, Endurance is a little worse in my deck. Feels like I want at least one Foundation Breaker. I'm not sold on Endurance in this matchup. Does that actually work against them? And I don't think I want to do Fury. I think one for Smart Command could be cool. And maybe just cut another. Come back to Magic after 4 months. I go to Croquis. I see Golem versus Phyrexia. Glad to see here you're still playing the same decks as 6 months and 1 year ago. I welcome your consistency. It's kind of a coincidence actually a bit, but okay. On the other hand, I'm really getting punished for these trolls. Getting extremely punished for these trolls right now. And the rest of the hand's so good. The rest of the hand's perfect too. Okay, Ent doesn't count. Ent I might just keep. I might just keep and pray. I don't know about 5 cards. I could get rid of Force. Yeah, I'm just gonna keep and pray. I mean, I'm like 50%, but also I'm mulligan to 5. Thanks. Alright, maybe 11 lands, just not it. Deck trying to send me a message here. I mean, surely these are not the stats. I'm not supposed to get punished like... That's like almost 50% of the hands in the games I've played, I'm getting punished. Maybe it's just bad keep. Maybe I'm not. Maybe I'm to blame and not the builds.
Idiot players call races with Queen 10. They don't even know how to spell poker.
You're gonna first was back of Spell Pierce. I mean, you could argue that if it was a 6-card hand, I don't know if it's like bad logic, but you could argue that if I'm gonna run like so bad was my 6-card keep, I would just run as bad as my 5-card hand and lose anyways. I mean, I'm sure there's some truth to my statement, but might not mean my keep was good. Yeah, because it looks like they flooded pretty hard. It is kind of... Oh, nice. Well, I only have 1 living end left now. It needs to resolve, but I don't know, it's good and bad. It's kind of bad, not to just... Oh, I'm just getting trolled. Literally trolled. I can probably just scoop them up. Oh, man.
Down here, salt is a way of life.
Obviously, the environment
Gamble.
down here is all salt. The ceiling is salt, the floor is salt, the walls are salt, and to an extent, the air is salt.
Yeah, I mulligan and kept 0 land Street Wraith on the draw, JD. Only 1 Street Wraith too, not even 2. I mean, the odds of me not having a land in my top, like, 7 cards are just honestly ridiculously low. Yeah, I just saw 7 cards without a land, so maybe that was my, like, mulligan to 5. It was another 0-lander. You just need, like, so many reps, though, because the variance, the fact that, like, you have to mulligan because you have troll and not lands, I mean... Just solo, but whatever. Let's see. Prismari Command helps a tiny bit against Blood Moon too. I don't think I want to change too much. You can maybe go less reactive on the play. Like the 1 Foundation Breaker on the play could go. Or maybe on the play it should just be another Prismari Command. Prismari Command's harder to cast against a Blood Moon. But I'm also less worried about Blood Moon when I'm on the play. When if they added a rule that would break the game of Magic, I don't know, it would probably break the game of Magic. I'm getting punished again because I have Blood Crypt and not like... I mean, maybe that would be Spirebluff Canal. Would I even keep that hand? And that Prismari Command I brought in would have been like an Architect maybe. Sure, it does seem like the inconsistencies are like adding up here. It's not a very good look for this build. I just get rid of Otawara, and then I can get Blood Crypt. No, Team Events Blood Crypt does get Stomping Ground. Yeah, I just get Blood Crypt. What's wrong with Blood Crypt? Can't hardcast Force of Negation, but. Okay, they were kind enough to mulligan for the 3rd game in a row, so I think things somewhat fair. No Ragman turn on. Always a welcome sight. Well, now I should probably just grief now, right? In case they have hearse. I mean, they currently don't have a way to counter. Seems like I should just take the consider, right? They're fetching first. Oh yeah, right. They get to bubble. Don't they need to? Maybe they drew a creature. Their line is no. Don't they need to bubble themselves? and try to find a counter spell. Airline's kind of YOLO. Airline's kind of YOLO. Hope you don't have a. Could be the right line. I don't know. I don't think what they did was good though. I'd assume I just have living in next turn, and I mean I'm just living in now, right? And they're in a terrible spot. Maybe they don't have different options. Well, they have counterspell in their deck. They could bubble themselves, see if there's something good. If there's something bad, they shuffle. They at least get like, you know, a couple looks at a counter. I mean, now they just lose. I think their line is fine if they have Force of Negation in their deck. Because then they're getting free draw steps to a Force of Negation. So I think if they have a copy or two of Force of Negation in their deck, I like their line. I think it's like acceptable. But if you have 0 Force of Negation, seems like kind of a bad line. I don't know, that's what I think anyways. I just still lose to Murktide here. 5/5 Murktide. Probably not. Alright, they have Dispute, so I don't want to give them a free scry. Let's start by attacking, see what happens. Maybe just say go, make them use Dispute end of their turn. Or maybe cycle just to hit land drops. I mean, this card hard casting doesn't do much for me. Yeah, I'll just say go. Shredder gives them 2 trigger and 2 chances to discard creatures for living in. I don't think them discarding creatures for living in is very scary. Alright. They chose to play first. FEMTGO. Oh, Modern. Ragdos Midrange. Temur Cascade. The latest list mid-April and it was Scam. So might be a safe bet to assume Scam again. Not a bad hand against Scam, because I have Street Wraith. I get some cards in my graveyard at least. The living in my hand is kind of whatever. The rest of the hand's pretty solid, so I guess I should just keep. Do I wish Troll was a land here? Seems unlikely. First time chatter, Decklist. Welcome to the chat. Welcome to the stream. Am I supposed to cycle here to hit Force of Negation? Probably am, right? Well, too late now. Maybe I'll take Living End. Maybe they don't know Modern. Not sure. Alright, I should try and hit Grief. Most likely. So I should cycle Generous Ent. Just for basic forest. For now. I think I can get basic forest later. Maybe I should have cycled Troll because it hits harder if they play Voidwalker. I don't know. I guess I'll just grab Breeding Pool. Why the Botanical Sanctum? Because it's just a good land. Painless. Comes to play untapped in the first 3 turns. Cookbook. That could be really bad for me if they're playing Traxxar or something. Alright, they're probably not playing Blood Moon. Let's cycle a Troll, maybe that like Blood Crypt. And then cycle Street Wraith. Play Steam Vents, I guess. Cycle Curator. Not a single Force or Grief. Fortunate. Are we dead? Oh, Emrakul. I might also just be sandbagging in the tracks and I'll just die when I living end. If I living end. Alright, let's cycle first, I guess. I only have I have 2 swamps left, never mind. Let's cycle Architect maybe. Let's cycle Riverwinder. Yeah, not a cascade spell, not an interaction spell. My graveyard might be able to beat an Atraxa. How did we do yesterday? The 1 league? I went 4-1. I didn't feel like the black cards were like super meaningful. They might not have main deck hate. They might not have main deck like, I mean, I like it in the meta, but if you want on your game one list, game one deck to be super focused. Looks like they're playing a focus list with all these one drops. They might not have a ton of room for random relic or spell bomb. Well, we finally get to see what's up, I guess. Also just close to dead on board to like a single hit. Oh no, I'm definitely dead on board. Yeah, hard cast Oliphaunt. Did I hard cast them in games I won though? Okay, they make a token. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yeah, I'm dead on board. If I hard cast Curator, it buys me a turn, and I still die. This might as well cycle. The hard cast and top deck and either cycle, you have more draws. Yeah, it's true. There's also like the chance of the parlay of them having a relic in their deck, right? Also the parlay of them just drawing something to kill me. Or what they could have to kill me. I just want to see what they get with Urza's Saga. Not that matters. One Thoughtseize, one Saga. I haven't played this matchup in a while. They're playing Kragenwix, or they're playing Emrakul and the other dudes. And the 5/4, which could just solo me. I don't have much counterplay against. I have Grief, but then it comes back. Force of Negation doesn't seem that great. You're just like... Just bring in a lot of cards in this matchup and play a grindy game. I think it could work. Or that like Force and Grief. And just bring in all my... Like bring in these cards, these 11 cards. Days, I mean, we're literally playing just like land cyclers over land for the most part. Well, I guess, I mean, Old Living End had 11 land or 19 or 20 lands, 19, 20. So we're a little over, but I mean, obviously there's a bunch of issues. Yeah, I'm not sure what I'm supposed to do here. I think I might just bring it all in. I almost want Subtlety just because of the 5/4. Yeah, I don't know, this is kind of weird and maybe bad. The problem with land cyclers is that it's lands that cost mana instead of just being a land. That's actually not a problem when you're trying to resolve living in, right? It didn't really cost you mana, you banned a creature, which is what you're trying to do. I mean, there's no quick answer, DCB, but the fact that you have these land cyclers means you get to pitch your blue cards more often to Force of Negation, and you get to pitch the Troll to Grief. It's like hard to simplify, but let's see. So I don't have Grief, I have one Force, so I guess I can just say go. There's like 10 different variables to consider, and at first I was like, oh, maybe we can figure out some math and kind of figure out in theory, but it does kind of feel like maybe you just need a bunch of reps and go by, you know, quote unquote feel. Or maybe just keep track, but it's so hard to keep track without being like kind of result oriented and stuff. Or like by, you know, like sometimes keeping track and then forgetting the times it was good for you is, I guess, more what I meant. Just play Stomping Ground and say go here. See what happens. I need a green card. Things looking pretty decent though. Not sure what they could have to. I knew someone was gonna make that joke. I thought about the same thing as soon as I said it. I did not need a green card for that. No. Blue, so I need red or green. I guess I'd rather have second green maybe. green card, green card, green card. Which one should I use? Instant speed? How much damage do I have? 610. I have lethal. Maybe instant speed? Does anyone know what I could even be worried about here? I guess I could be worried about them having multiple big creatures. Grief? They're not playing Grief. They're playing Boris Vengeance. Have you tried any 4 colors on that Ring Soup? No, but my teammates have, so I think I'm gonna pass on that. I mean, maybe I'll play a league or two. Dottie, no. I mean, Dottie I can just outburst in response. I think I'm just gonna say go. If I do it now, they can play an Asmo, maybe actually like do something good. They're straight up discarding Necromantia. That's the other thing. Maybe they just go and play Necromantia here, or something that's really bad that doesn't do anything. Yeah, I agree, Proven too. I've had that scenario where you need your third land and you have to land cycle for it. I mean, there's ton of upsides and there's ton of downsides. But that would be the scenario where you're like, you have the Cascade spell, I guess, and you draw your land cycler and you wish it was a land, but land cyclers are not that lands, Adam, because you're adding a creature to your graveyards. So I don't think that's fair. Not in Living End. Not when you're using them when they're in your graveyard. In terms of replacing lands, they're tap lands. No, but that doesn't work. It's the same. I mean, they're not playing a track set. They're playing Crag and Wake, right? But they're just. Why are they discarding Tutor now? What the hell? What just happened? I'm a wee bit confused. Why did this discard Tutor? Think I'm dead? Huh? Okay. I'm dead has been called. Ban if wrong. How am I dead? What is going on? Why did someone just say I think you're dead? Ah, you had an endurance. Minor detail. Alright, they were discarding so they would have less cards in hand for the 5/4. My bad. Well, still you should wait for a living. That's like not very tight play, right? You can do it with the trigger on the stack. What's up, Francisco? It's fine. Baking soda, we've all been there. I make dumb comments all the time when I watch someone stream. I'm like, just another average bavardeur. The 5/4? It's the 5/4 that... You don't know what that card... I thought you played that deck a bit at some point, Kai. I don't know, maybe not. What are we up against? Asmogorio. So Endurance is great. Prismari Command on the draw is probably a little sus. I'm not even sure why I had that card in my deck in the first place. I think Fury could be cool. Grief could be okay with Endurance. Force could be okay to slow them down. Just more cyclers is fine. How worried am I about Asmo? Subtlety on the 5/4. Maybe I just want more cycling cards, honestly, to find my Endurance. It's also just good against discard spells to find my... Definitely want the Graveyard Hate, definitely want the Artifact Removal. Fury killing Asmo? Do I care? Maybe Fury's just bad. Not sure what I was like. Fury doesn't sound that exciting. Maybe it's just that, just the Graveyard Hate and an Artifact Hate, and then a lot of Cyclers. And then no Griefs, no Force. No Force seems a little sus, especially on the draw. Waker. Does that save me? Not really. Grief seems like super awkward against them, especially on the draw. Alright, I think I should have more Force. I think I should maybe have 4 Force in this matchup and maybe cut Architect of Will, since I don't have Grief. Endurance, I guess, but the idea behind One Leyline of Wood. Normally play the play sets. Normally, who I don't play the place. I almost never play Leyline period because I hate them. But there's no specific reason why Leyline should be a play set or nothing. At Sideboard in time, yeah, I did. It's pretty lax. Pretty lax. It's pretty hard to not Sideboard in time on Magic Online. Say that scans. Okay, let's say you win some, you lose some. I wonder what's the over-under on numbers of land cyclers that play at the PT. I do kind of love them. Yikes. I mean, if I can... What am I trying to stay above 15? 18? Staying above 18 is going to be impossible. Staying above 15, maybe? Blue-black controllers 4 troll. Can we beat blue-black controllers 4 troll and if Volora struggle as... Oh, Pigeon arrive. The most generous of them all. What's up, Marty? We're in a heated debate of whether land cyclers are 100% upside. Proventy, you're kind of like... Everyone agrees land cyclers are not 100% upside. I don't think I would say you need, that's not what we're debating. Hey, Jordan. Wait, first time? You're not a first time chatter. Did you make a new Twitch account? Alright, sorry. I'm distracted by chat. So, cycle for Steam Vents. Have double green. I don't really need red, actually. I don't have Fury in my deck. I don't have Prismari Command in my deck. Oh, I need red for Outburst, right? Minor detail. Right. I could cycle first a blue card in case I redraw a blue card. Do I want to thin first? What am I looking for? I literally have one Force of Negation left for interaction, and I'm looking to min-max an Endurance draw. Maybe? Their hand's not doing anything, though. We do have a Profane Tutor in 2 turns, which might just beat me. Whatever they get might beat me, so I guess I need to go faster than their Profane Tutor. I guess I'm going long term by thinning the deck first, and then do I even need to do that now? Probably not, right? One Force and Endurance as my pitch spells. You're 5-0 the challenge. Jeez. What are we playing? What's broken today? What's good in the meta? Not a Profane Tutor. Thanks. Good news is they don't have Discard Atlas right now. Oh, hello. Kind of great. Outburst? Just hardcast my Force? I need to find a Cascade spell. It's costing me a lot of time. Or I could believe in the heart of the cards. I'm not sure. Just not sure. I mean, one draw step is huge for me right now. I have blue cards I could draw into that are not cyclers, that are just... No, all my blue cards are just cyclers, right? Oh no, there's Shardless Agent, but I don't want to pitch a Shardless Agent. Alright, I guess I'm just gonna take it slow and force. Gotta have a discard outlet. Upkeep cycle? Damn. I don't think I need to be too scared about discards. Unless they have 5/4 plus the kill. Emrakul reshuffles and in Yargle I can maybe chump. Which one do I cycle? Troll or Ent? Ent has reach. You can gain me life. Troll lets me cast Architect next turn for some reason. I don't know if that matters though. Oh no, reach could matter. Reach lets me beat Goryo Emrakul. I think that's what I should be really scared of, but Architect, Fate Seal, oh. No, they have Profane Tutor, Jose. They have a Profane Tutor, which is my main worry. Alright, good news. Might still miss a piece. Well, Profane Tutor is upkeep, so they get to reshuffle. You mean getting the black mana? Is that what you're referencing to? Yeah, I think Ent's pretty solid. It's like maybe they just have Emrakul, Goryor, and I can beat that, but it seems like if they tutor, they're not gonna tutor for that. I mean, I guess I guess Yargle Goryor does nothing. Emrakul Goryor I can beat, so it's left was 5/4 get lucky. I'm gonna ask them. What odds are we looking at here? 33? I'm assuming that means 1 in 3, not 33 for them, not for me. I lost my flip last time I played that deck in that spot. Easy clap. Easy freaking clap. Man, that food token. Oh, that was the match? What's the other game I lost? Did I lose game 1? Oh, I lost game 1. What happened in game 1? Well, that's kind of unlucky. Or, well, perfect hands. Like if Troll was a land, my hand would still be really good. It's not like Troll is like great here. I mean, it's fine, but should I go digging for Grief right away? I mean, I'd rather thin my deck before cycling an Architect, but it's probably fine. A lot of Golgari in the top 8 of Bologna, as in Yogg. If I draw Grave, would I pitch Troll? Yeah, 100%. I mean, I have like 2 draw steps to a land cycler or an Ent or stuff for. That kind of blew that we got knocked out by top 8 to the like 1 for a chance. It's kind of hitting me now. What did it take? They straight up took the Ent. Trying to mana screw me. Might just work. Oh no, I actually have Otawara in hand. I'm just high. Ah, winning the die roll. What a wonderful thing. Winning the die roll. It means no worries till the end of her day. Look at the cards. Magus. Turn 1 Thoughtseize, turn 2 Voidwalker. Not a problem. No problemo, amigo. I think sideboarding here is like list dependent. Depends if they're on the Leyline plan or not. Alright, they have not played that deck. So I guess I'm just gonna assume challenge for this, which is this, which is no Leyline. Chalice, Hirsch. Maybe Blood Moon. The Force is better. I could go for the 1-for-1 removal and not have Force of Vigor. And Grief also is better. Grief's not gonna stop turn 0 Chalice. It's not gonna stop a top deck. It does fill up my graveyard, but I think Grief is pretty bad against them. I think like Menina and they just boards out Grief in this matchup, which seems fine. He has Leyline of Sanctity, Foundation Breaker, and the Force of Vigor. Wait, he brings in 4 Subtlety against Fragment and 3 Endurance. Boards out all the Grease. Boards out all the Force. Oh, I kind of like it. And he brings in Endurance and Subtlety. Interesting. I have Fury, so that's a little different. Bring in Force of Vigor. And he just trims some Cyclers. I'm not gonna bring in all that though. I'm not gonna do all the Subtleties. I'm not gonna do all the Force of Vigor, and I'm not gonna do all the Endurance. Chef Kiss. Perfect. Working well with 11 lands? No, I don't think so. Think you want a few more. I'm getting burned a lot. This game ended up being a big deal though, right? That I had a troll and not a land in the end. Might have lost without it. Not sure. All kind of close. Got no answers to... That's not true. I have a Foundation Breaker. I have Leyline too. 7-card Leyline hand. Easy clap. Who are these people? How do they do it? I mean, is this real life? Let's cycle the Curator first. See what happens. I birded out all my force, right? I have 1 Force of Vigor though. I have the good land cycler. I try and minus a Force of Vigor. Sure. A little desperate here. Painless events, no big deal. And I get blue mana for Cycler Riverwinder. So lucky, who my opponent? Yeah, I agree. Unreal lucky. I might still win, despite set on credible luck. See what incredible lucky hit. Endurance. Both side, I'm a cinch. I'm not sure what to pitch. First Fury, Endurance. Let's go for it, right? Hope it's good enough. And what am I hoping for? My hand doesn't do anything. But feigning death. The monkey. Monkey's faking it. Maybe terminate their own monkey. Bolting their own monkey. Probably still gonna be hard to win. Might be too far behind. Leyline. Nice. You'll love to see it. Such a beautiful sight, honestly. Did I ever mention that I just freaking hate Leylines and they're just atrocious? Turn 1 Rags Leyline, turn 2 Blood Moon. Ce n'est pas un problème pour moi. It's nice. It doesn't happen very often that you're living in
Down here, salt is a way of life.
It is.
Obviously,
nice
the environment down here is all
but
salt. The ceiling
a
is
lot
salt,
of the
the floor
time
is
they're
salt,
like,
the walls are salt.
if
And to an
that
extent, the air is
Foundation
salt.
Breaker was just another cycling card, I would have won, or it just happens all the freaking time. Or if my Subtlety was a mystical dispute, or like so hard sometimes I think so. Lower count living and more. I don't think so, but I'm not sure. Am I following the WCP minimum? Yeah, I have a Poker Go subscription from last year. I don't know how long it's good for, but more. Well, I guess I'm not casting living in this game. Maybe that's why Menino Nade brings in endurance and subtlety, because you throw stuff like that and you kind of just hard cast your cards and beat them sometimes. Makes sense. That's kind of insanely lucky. Obviously, my 1 Force of Vigor. I only brought in 1 because I didn't expect Leyline. I didn't realize Leyline was just stuck now, apparently. Like 2 opponents I play against did have what seems like 4 Leyline after board. I messed up. I should have... Never mind. I was going to say I should play my creature first because of Edict, but they have to chum block. Oh, look at that. Locking them out. Leaving them no chance. Nice slot. What are we starting was Finning or cycling in case we hit a living end, or just grief? I think I like just cycling. Grief first. Rhinos? Rhinos. 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 Take the force, right? Straightforward. Great matchup. Yeah, pretty good matchup. Alright, I'm gonna give myself a chance at a turn free, so I'm gonna cycle a Riverwinder. Easy. What did you ice? Speaking of easy. Dang. That's second black. I'm able to hardcast a Grave if I draw it. Suspend a Living in, I guess. It's a little scary. I know of one dispute. I only have 2 Living Ends left in my deck. I can't really take the turn off to suspend Living Ends. The Dev Outburst might just die. Are they yellowing or did they draw Force? If they drew Ice into Force into Cascades, that'd be kind of gross. Unless I draw Grief, of course. Instead have like 2 turns to draw Grief, I guess. They must have drawn Force. No, maybe they don't think they can win if they just play Drago. Maybe they don't think things are getting better for them, but yeah. It is obviously a pretty big concern. I have like all the Living Ends in my hand, unlikely, but... Alright, so... Need to worry about endurance. So on the subtleties, my own disputes.
I just got pooped on by a pigeon on the way to the gym. YOLO, leave?
Did you? They say it's good luck. Thanks for the bits. Blood Moon, yeah. It's bad against a free color build, but it's probably pretty good against me. Alright, let's board out the Fury. I've gotten pooped on by a pigeon at least once. They have so many bad cards that Blood Moon should come in. Maybe I'll be greedy and board out a Troll.
Pigeon arrived.
Was it you, Wongtag? You arrived on Adam's head? Rip. My goose, you can't even spell pigeon. Wongtag, thank you so much for the resub. Appreciate it. Hope you're doing good. I mean, I said I shouldn't keep, right, these hands. I probably shouldn't keep these hands. I really want to. Hello, Hat Store, or do you live in Japan, JT? Keep for science? It's not science, it's like basic math. I mean, I guess basic math is maybe science, but... Oh, look, the nuts. Instead of like a widely unplayable hand, just missing in a subtlety and or just Gucci. Finally, Aloysius is here. The stream can start. 5 hours later. Kind of want to get Breeding Pool. Is that horrendous? Steam Vents was my force cycling ability, only in paper. Man, I had to go on a run this morning, but you're welcome. I'll go on a run. Don't be greedy, get stomping. Force? I mean, do I care that much about Blood Moon when I have 2 Force in hand? You can even argue Grief or hardcast Grief at some point. I'm just gonna get Breeding Pool. Yeah, I don't know how fast I want to cast Outburst when I need to worry about endurance. Endurance is kind of an issue. Never punished? You mean always rewarded? Holy shit, it actually is good luck. I'm heading home to change shirts and I just remembered the gym closes at 12 on Sunday. The pigeon saved you time? Wait, it wasn't even on your head? It was on your t-shirt? Or just like kind of splash all like mess? Too many details. I'm not supposed to force that, right? Doesn't make a ton of sense. Or does it? I only have one shot at a black card, actually. So I can do it now, which sucks against Force, or I can do it now, which sucks if they don't have a green card for their Endurance. Guess I'm gonna do it on their turn. I see black card would have been massive draw here. Okay, pretty much only win if they have Endurance. If they have Endurance, what would I rather have? A Dispute or Force? I was getting that vibe. Put on them much. I don't know why they way they were just jamming. They're still. I don't know. Maybe it's just some hindsight. All right, 5-2, not bad. This 8th round, no, I think.